Harry, this is Lord Potato, and this is, well, part 2 of this what if. What if Yuji Itadori can control elements? So, part 2. Part 3, no, not part 3. Part 1, I did it about like a month ago, so yeah, or 2 months. I don't remember. But yeah, other than that, also go subscribe to Anime Sensei, Iconic What Ifs, and Obito What Ifs. And their links will be in the description. I always do that. Well, for right now, I'm doing it. It's probably always going to be in the description if I don't get too lazy. I'll just copy and paste. And be much easier. But of course, it's where, well, it's just going to be a description if you want to go subscribe to Obito What Ifs. He just did two videos. I don't remember when he uploaded. I forgot. Iconic, I think he's just doing a lot of what's it called schoolwork, and so he can't upload that much. And Anime Sensei isn't gonna come back until 2 weeks because he's just gonna go watch a lot of anime to get ideas for, well, what ifs. So yeah, just saying, you can go subscribe to those guys. And if you want to see my second channel, because it's cringy as fuck, because I actually stay quiet when I'm playing video games. I have no clue why. I just don't talk that much when I'm playing video games. I'm not that concentrated. I don't think so. I think I just zone out too much. But if you want to see me stay quiet for like at least 20 seconds, or like not even 20 seconds, 20 minutes while I'm playing a video game, then check out my second channel. If you don't, you don't need it, because I don't really care. I barely upload there. But other than that, let me go into the damn what if and shut the fuck up. So, we'll go into, well, Yuji. Now, Yuji, he wakes up out of bed. He's right now just training. And of course, this is where, well, Yuji is trying to use his elements. All his elements. Since he is considered to be the prince of a clan called the Yoso clan, because there's 4 clans in total. There's the Komo clan, the Zenin clan, and the Gojo clan, but there's also the Yoso clan. The Yoso clan contains people that can use, well, 1, 2, or 3 elements, but Yuji is special. He can use every single element that's in the clan. That means limitless, basically the space between people and all that, basically that. He can also use blood somewhat. He can basically use any element that exists and any element that doesn't exist. Like dark matter. Dark matter is actually one thing that Yuji can actually use without anyone, well, knowing that he's using it. Because they won't know what the fuck it is. Because if I can remember right, dark matter is something that doesn't exist much of time. It gets confusing. I don't get into science much because my dumbass brain won't be able to teach you this shit because I am not smart. Science is decent for me, but anything else I just suck at. What's it called? Not the point. So, Yuji can control that. Now, of course, he can control Limitless and actually turn off Gojo's Limitless by using his own Limitless to turn off what's it called, Gojo's. So, of course, he can only not put it around his body like Gojo can. He has to put it on his hand. Yuji can. Because Yuji does not have the 6 eyes. But he does have his own eyes that are, well, a little bit more powerful than the 6 eyes. Because his eyes are, well, controlled by the element that he's using. Like, say he's using fire. He is going to be able to, his eye will go into an orangey red. And, of course, like an orange reddish color. And of course, he can now, his fire is like 10 times stronger. Of course, yeah. Of course, he doesn't need to activate his eye, but it just kind of gives him a boost in his elements. There's also, well, the other fact that he can use somewhat chakra. It's because the Yoso clan is similar to that of the Naruto world. Yeah. Other than that, we go into Yuji. Now, Yuji, he's right now using what's called, well, lightning, fire, and water at, the same time. He can use fire and lightning together, somehow, But of course, when he adds what's called fire and water to make steam, it doesn't really want to work. Because either the water is too strong or the fire is too weak. Yeah, you get the point. He's trying to create steam, so add the same elements together to make steam. Even though he can already make steam, it's just he wants to use two elements at the same time that are opposite from each other. Fire and lightning, he actually managed to just create fire-ish lightning. Which the fire around it, not fire around, there's lightning around the fire that is just called fire lightning. And he sends a very powerful attack. So yeah, besides the fire gets increased to be faster. Like the, lightning a little bit. But yeah. Of course, he's doing that, but he still had about 2 more days to get out of the bed. And this is where, well, someone walks into, well, the someone's bed that Yuji was going to have to sleep and kind of rest because Yuji did kind of fight against a special grade. And this person is hearing the noises outside. So, of course, checks out the window and sees Yuji kind of training. Now, of course, this is where, well, something happens. This person jumps outside, and this is Maki. Maki kind of screams at Yuji for being an idiot and kind of training instead of resting. Well, yeah, resting, mostly. This is where, well, Yuji gets scared and almost kind of, well, light himself on fire. Because he had a fireball that he was about to throw until, well, he kind of got scared and accidentally threw it up. Of course, it almost hit him, but he managed to use water to kind of block the fire and make steam. This is where, well, Yuji made steam, finally, after taking a while, because he did have burnt marks with either, just water that kind of evaporated way too fast to not make steam. Of course, this is where, well, Yuji sees that he made steam, and so he tries to run away. Of course, this is where Yuji tries to run away, but this is where Maki found him, and this is where Yuji kind of got scared. This is where Maki says, "You idiot, you're supposed to be resting, not fucking training." This is where Yuji says, "Well, in my defense, I am healed enough, so it's fine." So yeah, that's where Maki says, "You idiot, fine. If you're healed enough, then let's go. We gotta still continue the exchange fan, I think so. I don't know what the teachers are talking about." So we go into the teachers. Like Gojo, Urahime, Shoko wasn't there. Mei, and of course this is where, Mei, and the 2 principals, and even Yuji's sister, older sister, named Sayana, Yoso. Of course, this is where, well, Sayana is saying, "So, you guys are still gonna continue the change events, aren't you?" This is where, well, Gojo says, "The problem is, even though Yuji defeated the cursed spirit, we can't still tell what their main goal was after." And of course, Gojo has what's called the 2 fingers that Yuji kind of just took out from his stomach. And this is where, well, Gojo says, "And also, since Yuji's not the Sukuna vessel no more, how are we gonna find the fingers?" This is where, well, Sayana looks at him and says, "Idiot." This is where Gojo says, "What? Go look for them? It's not that hard." This is where, well, Gojo says, unless he had a tiny bit of Sukuna's powers to track the, fingers, I don't know about that. This is where, well, Sayana says, wait, how long did, Yuji ate the fingers? She asked Gojo. Gojo says, about 2 months. Why? I think Yuji probably does. Because Yuji does have a lot of abilities. And half those abilities he can remember yet forget. God damn it, little brother. But this is where Gojo says, "What do you mean?" He probably, absorbed some of Sukuna's power. Because he has absorption. He has an ability called absorption. This ability kind of absorbs any attack, any kind of strange anomaly, anything by little power. Or all of it if Yuji gets angry enough with it. This is where, well, Gojo says, wait, can it absorb Limitless? No, I don't think so. This is where Sayana says, I have actually no clue. Actually, no, I don't have it. So Sayana has 3 elements only, because she wasn't. Even though she was born the oldest, and actually, well, what's it called? Born the oldest in the family and all that. She wasn't chosen to be, well, the clan head, because, well, she only had 3 elements and Yuji had almost all of them. Of course, as well, Sayana has the 3 elements of fire, kind of limitless a little bit, and, well, I think I said gold. So fire, gold, and limitless a little bit. But yeah. But of course, this is where, well, she says, I don't have it. I don't think so. This is where, well, Gojo says, phew, thank God. This is where Sayana says, I can hear you, bastard. This is where Gojo says, you didn't hear me. This is where Sayana sighs and she says, shut up already. This is where, well, Gojo says, so Yuji can kind of track Sukuna's fingers, and that would be good. And this is where Gojo says, but maybe if I make Yuji eat the fingers, Sayana says, make him and I'll kill you in an instant. This is where Gojo like gets scared a little bit from what they call Sayana. This is where, well, Sayana says, don't you dare think of touching my little brother. This is where, well, Gojo said, yeah, I'm not gonna try no more. This is where, well, the principal says, so if they were probably here for the only fingers, that's how much we got information from the guy, then that means that they're only there for the fingers. What's it called? Curse Sparrow is only a distraction to distract Gojo. Gojo says, yeah, that is true. Damn. But at least Yuji managed to kill that one, well, special grade, which I'm shocked. But I'm glad. This is where Sayana says, will you be more glad if my little brother died? This is where Gojo says, no, that's not what I meant. This is where Sayana says, oh, whatever. I'm so glad my little brother's still alive. So yeah, she kind of changed from, well, she can change from 180, from either I'ma murder you if you talk, what's it called? Well, if you try to kill my little brother, and she can change to, oh, I miss my little brother, to nice, to I'ma murder you. So yeah, of course, this is where, well, the exchange plan will still happen, and of course Yuji is there with the others. Of course, Maki is kind of talking to him, and Yuji's kind of answering some questions like, so, is your hair gonna stay like that the whole time? So Yuji's hair is still gonna stay like that, permanent, and of course, because that's his original hair color instead of being pink. And Yuji says, yes, but it can also change with the element I'm using. This is where, well, Maki says, okay, how about your eyes? Yuji's eyes, they're closed right now, but Yuji opened them, and it shows what to call his slicked eye, that's kind of rainbowish also. Right now, it's kind of just rainbowish because, well, rainbowish because, well, Yuji hasn't used a specific element right now. In battle, he uses a specific element, and that ability will increase because of the eye kind of changing color. And his hair kind of also doing the same. So Yuji says, oh, these eyes will stay the permanent also, because, well, they're my original color eyes. This is where Maki says, okay, then what about the blade behind you? Yuji says, oh, I can kind of make this blade poof away and bring back. And don't worry about it. This is where Maki says, can I hold it? Yuji says, no. This is where Maki says, why? Because it's somewhat, well, somewhat special to the clan. And since I'm gonna be the prince, I will actually gifted this by, well, as a present for me becoming 13. Huh, wait, 13. Wait, why did they give a 13-year-old a weapon? Don't know, ask my clan. Yes, sir, Maki says, whatever. It's not like she has also trained without weapons, but yeah. This is where, well, Yuji says, so, are you really, well, what's called, trying to, well, not trying to, she says, so, What about, what's it called? How old are you actually? 15. Maki says, really? Yes. This is where Maki says, okay, then how tall are you? So I'm gonna say Yuji's height is actually 5'9", instead of being 5'8", so yeah. So Yuji says 5'9". This is where Maki says, okay. So is there really a specific number or not a specific number for how many elements can you control? Yuji says, however many, he says, however many elements that are out in the what's called world right now. This is where, well, Maki nods, and of course, this is where, well, Gojo comes in and says, hello guys! This is where some of them are trying to heal and all that. And this is where, well, Toto is right now kind of very happy for his, like, well, brother kind of talking to someone, but yeah. This is where, well, someone's kind of grumbling, some of them are just kind of annoying, some of them other people are talking. This is where Gojo says, hello, hello. Can you all just listen to me for a second? This is where all of them turns around and see Gojo. And this is where Gojo says, so, who wants to continue on the exchange event? This is where Yuji raised his hand really fast. And this is where Maki grabbed his hand and pushed it down. This is where Maki says, you idiot. I thought you weren't gonna do it. What happened if we get attacked again? Yuji says, then I'll just kick the shit out of whoever attacked us. This is where Maki sighs and says, you idiot. This is where Toto says, no, I agree with my brother. This is where Gojo says, huh? I agree with my brother. We should continue this exchange event. Because if we don't continue, then he says like the same original canon, what he says in original canon. And of course, this is where, well, Gojo nodded, and this is where he throws a box at Yuji, and Yuji catches it. And this is where Yuji says, so, what is this? A box, Gojo said, clearly. And this is where Yuji kind of says, uh-huh. This is where Yuji activates his eyes, well, kind of change his eyes into a kind of clearish bluish color. And this is where Yuji is kind of using X-ray right now. And this is where Gojo says, what are you doing, Yuji? Oh, nothing. This is where Gojo says, are you using a specific element to kind of look into it? No, Yuji says. This is where, well, Gojo says, just grab something from the box. This is where Yuji says, fine. He just grabs something random, gets a paper, and of course it says baseball. Because Yuji already saw what it said on all of them. Basically, it said baseball on all of them. And this is where Yuji says, baseball? This is where Maki says, baseball. This is where Toto says, huh? Baseball. This is where, because he was kind of near. And this is where, well, the two principals say, baseball. This is where they look towards where Gojo's at. And Gojo's already walking away. This is where, well, they say, Gojo! Now, of course, this is where Yuji is kind of confused. But, of course, he just goes along with it. But, yeah. So, of course, this is where, well, so everyone is on the baseball field, and of course, everyone is there kind of like playing baseball and all that. Of course, Mekamaru is right now unable to play because his body was broken and all that. Of course, as well, before going any further into the baseball thing, they look for Yuji, and Yuji was nowhere to be seen until Yuji teleports right in front of him. This is where, well, with Mekamaru's body. Because Yuji did talk to Panda about if Mekamaru was a robot or a puppet. This is where Panda says that he was only a puppet that he was using from far away. This is where, well, Yuji kind of found what to call Mekamaru's original body and kind of used his eyes to kind of trace the cursed energy towards the storehouse and all this storage house, or somewhat. This is where, well, Yuji talks to Mekamaru saying that, come on, I can heal your body if you would, I don't know, like that. This is where Mekamaru kind of agrees, well, somewhat, because he was still kind of a traitor, but he was only trying to do that to kind of protect what's called Jujutsu High and all that. And this is where, well, he says, fine. This is where Yuji kind of used his eyes turn into a greenish, a lightish color, a very lightish greenish color. And of course, this is where he summons out, well, another dragon. And this dragon is called, Kenko. And this dragon says, "Hello, Yuji-sama. What will you need to do?" This is where Yuji kind of asks the dragon to heal. Well, what's it called? Help him heal Mechamaru. This is where Mechamaru is confused until the dragon kind of like put his like what's it called his not whole body onto Mechamaru, but he just kind of like puts his arm or his kind of like arm or not arm hand onto Mechamaru's head and started kind of healing what's it called Mechamaru. This is where Yuji is doing the same, and of course is where they kind of speed up the process and then fully change what's called Mechamaru into that one in what's called original canon in the manga. So of course this is where Mechamaru is basically that one in what's called the manga. But yeah, of course this is where Mechamaru is far along because Yuji then teleports. Of course the dragon says, "Yuji, you still gotta train on the healing Kankuro," that's it. And of course Yuji did kind of bow down and say thank you, and I'm sorry, I know I have to train. That's where Kankuro like disappears after that, kind of in a green kind of mist. And of course this is where Yuji kind of switches his eyes to a purple color and kind of now grabs Mechamaru because Mechamaru did get close and all. Because yeah, Yuji did like throw clothes at him. And of course this is where Mechamaru says, "Why am I in baseball?" Don't question it. Yuji grabbed him from what's called like the collar and then teleported into this kind of purplish mess. This is where they appear into the baseball field, and of course this is where Yuji throws Mechamaru onto what's it called Miwa. Miwa was shocked into who this person is, and it's right now they are right now kind of facing each other on the ground. It's where Yuji thought it would be funny because yeah, of course it's where Sayana says, "Yuji, where the hell have you been, and who the hell is this person?" Yuji says that this is Mechamaru, original body, or kind of real body. And of course, it's where Gojo, Urahime, the two principals, and even what's it called, not Shoko wasn't there, are kind of shocked to see Mechamaru's original body. And this is where Sayana says, "Oh, huh, did you want to go get him or something?" Yuji says, "Yeah, because he needed healing, and I needed to summon out the healing dragon." This is where Sayana says, "Huh, okay. I still have a lot of energy, right?" Yuji says, "Of course, sis. What do you think I'm gonna need all the energy? Of course I'm still gonna have tons of energy. I slept for about 5 days. I'm fine." That's where Sayana says, "I'm just looking out for you, little brother." This is where she kind of gives him a tight squeeze, and of course Yuji's ew. This is where Sayana says, Yuji's kind of dead. His like soul is kind of leaving his body. This is where Sayana wakes him up, like shaking him multiple times, and Yuji kind of says, "I'm fine, sis. Goddamn." This is where Sayana says, "At least you're alive." This is where Sayana says, "Go get him then. Beat the Kyoko students into into submission." Yeah, she is cheering on for Yuji, and this is where Urahime is kind of like just sighing because of course Yuji's sister is gonna be here. But yeah, of course this is where the Kyoko students are sighing because they don't know how strong or they can't really tell how strong Yuji's original strength is. Because his original strength was strong enough, but now it's actually 10 times increased if he uses his eyes. But of course, is where, Gojo says that Yuji cannot use his eyes, he cannot use character energy, and he cannot use anything. He just kind of use strength alone. Yuji kind of nodded and closes his eyes. And of course, is where, Gojo just kind of grabbed another pair of glasses and gave Yuji. Yuji put them on because, his eyes kind of, it needs to be closed, but at the same time to not use this kind of power on it. But yeah, his Yuji's hair is all just rainbowish, but yeah, right now this color. And of course, not right now, this color, these colors, must say. But yeah, of course, it's where, the first person goes up like the original can. I think it was Maki? Yeah, Maki. Of course, the Kyoku students cannot use what's it called? That one girl to kind of fly because yeah. But of course, this goes like an original canon. But we go into Yuji's kind of POV, kind of like grabbing the ball. Because, well, Toto's the one to be pitching this time. This is where Toto says, "Are you ready, brother?" This is where Yuji nods. And of course, this is where Maki's the one to kind of, well, not Maki. Yeah, Maki. No, not Maki. It is, the pitcher is Toto. Yeah, the pitcher is Toto, and the, what's it called? Person that's underneath that's actually, I'm gonna say that, no. The pitcher is what's it called, still Mekamaru, even though he's in his human form right now. Instead of being, well, considered to be the what's it called, ball machine, but yeah. And Toto is what's it called, the pitcher. That's where Maki is kind of like saying, "So, why do you keep calling what's it called Yuji brother?" This is where Toto says, "Because he is my brother." This is where Mekamaru throws the ball, and this is where Maki just says, "Yeah, right." This is where she hits the ball, and the ball kind of flies into hitting home run. Because the girl is still kind of flying, yeah. This is where Maya kind of is still shocked with what's called, not shocked. She knows that Maki's strength is pretty, well, yeah, Maki's strength is pretty unbelievable, but yeah. Now, of course, this is where Fujigoro goes next, and this is where Fujigoro gives only a light tap, and Toto says, "Come on, Fujigoro. You're supposed to do it better." This is where Fujigoro kind of gets captured out. And this is where, well, Fujigoro just walks back. Because, yeah. Of course, this is where Nobara goes and says, "My turn." This is where, well, wait, I think Nobara was still on the field, but yeah. That's where Yuji steps up next. And of course, this is where Yuji says, "So, brother, do you think you'd rather be the pitcher instead of what's it called, catcher behind me?" This is where Toto says, "That is true." He says, "Mekamaru, grab the fucking thing. I'm gonna be the pitcher." Mekamaru is confused and says, "Why do I feel like I'm gonna have my arm broken?" "Don't worry, just catch." This is where what's called Toto's like face is smiling like a freaking madman. Yuji gets ready, having his eyes closed, but yeah. This is where Mekamaru is kind of really doesn't want to do this. Of course, that one guy for the Kimono clan, but yeah. Also, he has what's called a somewhat cousin towards another girl, but yeah. Because there's actually more students in the Kyoko clan. Well, not Kyoko clan, the Kyoko students. So, of course, a girl with white hair, of course, playing, but of course, she barely knows how to play baseball. She's basically a niece from Gojo, but yeah. And of course, is where the other girl is kind of just like talking towards, well, her cousin mostly, but yeah. She can use blood, what's called manipulation, but she's a, what's it called, girl, and younger than what's called the other dude. Because the other dude is 17, she's only 15. But yeah. Of course, I'm gonna say her name is Sayana, while the other one, her name is Hakin Gojo. So yeah. Of course, this is where, well, Sayana is kind of saying, "So is Toto allowed to do that?" That's where the guy says, "Don't ask me. He can do whatever. I don't really want to deal with him that much, but yeah." That's where Toto says, "So let's see who's the strongest." He grabs the ball and he chucks it so fast at Yuji. Yuji smiles like an evil madman. But this is where Sayana was about to jump in because the ball was going extremely fast. But this is where Yuji grabs the what's called bat with two hands, and of course he grasps the bat really hard. And this is where Yuji hits the ball. Of course, this is where the bat, well, he's getting pushed backwards. This is where Yuji kind of like stays his ground, and then what's it called? Well, still hits the bat. Well, not bat, the ball up in the air further than anyone else. And of course, this is where, well, the Tokyo students win because Yuji, he threw the ball so far, like that bitch went gone, like it was gone. Of course, this is where, well, Toto says, "I wouldn't expect nothing less from my brother." This is where Sayana sighs and says, "Thank God my little brother didn't die." This is where, well, Toto is saying, "Good job, brother." This is where Yuji kind of thumbs up at him also. And this is where, well, everyone is kind of saying, yeah, we won. This is where Maki says, well, not Maki. This is where, well, Nobara kind of looks at Maya and says, fuck you, I won, we won, hell yeah, screw your fucking school. This is where Maya looks at what's called Nobara and flipping her off also, even though Nobara is also doing the same. This is where Maki kind of goes up to Yuji and hugs him because, yeah, because they thought Yuji was gonna die for a second until they realized Yuji's still too strong. And this is where Fujigoro says, yeah, we won. Because, you know, Fujigoro is kind of still that fucking state and all that. And of course, this is where, well, Panda and Togo says, well, Panda says, I guess we won. And this is where he kind of says, I guess that's what you look like, Mekamaru. Mekamaru says, thank God Yuji did something. This is where Yuji says, I was going to miss the ball. And this is where Mekamaru goes, why? You gonna expect me to catch the ball? Hell no. I'd rather let Gojo catch it. He's behind me. This is where Gojo says, wait, what? Mekamaru, you gotta catch the ball because that is how baseball works. Mekamaru says, you have Limitless. You're good. You're right. Gojo says, you're right. But this is where the two principals were still talking. And this is where, well, the old dude says, it's not a matter if I like Yuji or not. But since he's from the Yoso clan and he's no longer Sukuna, I guess it changed things. So, yeah. This is where Yage says, I guess so. But knowing that what's called, I have a young and very powerful prince in my school shows you that, well, truly the Tokyo school is a little bit stronger than the Kyoto students. This is where the old man looks at him and says, are you really gonna brag like Gojo? Gojo says, ha 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 ha, walks past him, and that's where the old man says, God damn it, why do I hate you all? Are you really gonna take care of Gojo? Gojo, what's it called? Well, Yage says, I mean, he's already taken care of. The old man says, who? Zaina, Yuji's older sister. Yeah, Yuji's older sister will probably be able to take care of Gojo for us, but yeah. The old man says, you're probably right. So of course this is where, well, Maya and the others are like, God damn it. Of course this is where, well, also mentioned, Togo says, salmon. Yes, salmon, rice. Yeah. So, of course, after the baseball thing is over, this is where Gojo's talked to by, well, Hakin and even was it Caldwell, Savannah. This is where Savannah says that they are, well, what's it called? They kind of talk to Yuji, trying to ask Yuji if he actually has any element styles for ice or even blood. Yuji says that he's able to control those two elements, but not use them at the same time. This is where, well, Savannah asks if he can teach him anything about any, like, blood styles or anything. Yuji does teach her a little bit about blood manipulation. And Savannah's blood manipulation is actually pretty good. She can actually, well, like, make weapons out of her blood manipulation, like into a dagger, sword, or even weapons. I mean, the Kyoko student kind of used it. Well, not the Kyoko. I forgot his other freaking name. I know his name was Kamo, but that's just his last name because that's just his last name because of the clan and all that. I just don't remember his first fucking name. It was too fucking long for me to remember, but yeah. Mekamaru was also long, but it was kind of easier because it's kind of like Mecha. But yeah, other than that, I can't fucking remember his name. So of course he's like able to kind of use blood piercing or any blood technique and all. But Savannah's blood manipulation is way stronger than his because, well, she can make it any weapons or anything. Even heat up what's called her blood, like what's called his can, and open her eyes. But her eyes, she can actually open both of them willingly or whatever, and her eyes are just a crimson kind of red color. But yeah. Of course, is where, well, next is Hawking kind of asking for ice manipulation. And Yuji can talk about how to use ice manipulation pretty easily. Kind of better to kind of have water around you, like the water molecules, like the, what's it called? Because there's a bunch of like moisture in the air and all that. And of course, he says that you can freeze it if you can actually control the water molecules first into freezing it, and then kind of using it either as what's it called? A source for right now, or even if you get a bigger spot to kind of use your ice manipulation. So of course, where they kind of nod and they thank Yuji, and yeah, of course, what's it called? Maki felt kind of jealous when she was kind of watching this, but yeah. Of course, this is where, Yuji kind of just listens and says, yeah, you're welcome. But yeah. Of course, we go into, a 3-week time skip. Now, Yuji's been training and using his elements. Of course, Ayana, she kind of visits the school sometimes. When I mean sometimes, not all the time, because she still has to do other things. Of course, she only visits just to kind of annoy Gojo. Well, not annoy him, kind of scare him. But yeah. Of course, Gojo did ask Yuji one time that how to kind of not piss off your sister. Yuji kind of goes into explain that Zayana is actually, how should I say, special. In cases that she loves me way too much and will kind of kill me if I ever die. She'll bring me back to life somehow and kill me. That's what Gojo says. That is true. Wait, where did she kill me first? Yuji says, well, that's a problem. She doesn't really want to kill you. Gojo says, yeah, that is true. He kind of remembers what Zayana talked to him about, and he is right now red a little bit. This is where, Yuji says, from your face, I can tell that she told you what she wanted. And, she kind of is wanting that because ever since she was like 16, I think around 16 or even 15 or whatever. I don't remember. I think even 12. Grandfather did told her about you, since you were kind of born as the strongest and having the 6 eyes. She kind of heard of your name and seeing that you were really strong. She kind of really decided to kind of try to one day ask you out. That's where Gojo says, how do you know about that? That's where Yuji says, well, if you go into her room, yeah, you probably won't be able to go into her room. Well, she'll probably force you into her room. But I don't think you really want to go into her room ever in the Yoshio clan. Or even into her house or anything like that. Gojo kind of nodded slowly. That's where, Yuji says, but other than that, just kind of be nice to her. She's very a nice person. And also, don't annoy her with what's it called. Well, I don't even think she would really care. Even though you might always kind of say Yamawa or anything kind of saying you're weak and all that, she'd probably be able to kick your ass. This is where Gojo says she probably will. Not go into line. Kind of scary. So Yuji says, but we don't have the 6 eyes, so you'd probably be fine. That's where Gojo says, I mean, it's good enough. Wait, does your eyes be able to use similar abilities to like the 6 eyes? Gojo asks Yuji. Yuji says no. I don't think so. How the hell does the 6 eyes works anyway? Okay, Gojo explains that the 6 eyes, is very powerful because he can see the weakness of people, like figure them out, and also get a bunch of knowledge. Yuji says that is nothing like the eyes that I have. These eyes are called the Yomoso, what's it called? Not Yomoso. Yoso the eyes. That's where Gojo says, what is the D for? Oh, it stands for dragon. That's where Gojo says dragon. So your full name is Yuji Dragon Yoso? Yep. I don't know why I say Yosomo. I don't know. Yosomo. This is where Yuji says, yep. This is where Gojo says, huh. That's kind of odd. Yuji says, not really. Our clan is kind of specific into being, I guess, an element dragon clan. since of my eyes being so much depth, like a dragon eyes. You see, they're select right now. They're not one dot pupil in the middle and all that. They're select, not like human. And all that. This is where Gojo nods. And he can remember what's it called, Cyanus was called eyes, because they were actually a kind of golden red color. Because the outside was golden red, but the inside was actually a bluish color. Well, yeah. Not bluish, it was kind of dark blue. Now, of course, Cyanus hair is, well, a long kind of golden hair, but with red, what's it called, sapphire, not sapphire, scarlet red hair slicked in on it. Well, not slicked, highlights. But yeah, that's where Gojo nods and says, yeah, I can see that. So I just have to be nice to your sister and not piss her off? Yeah, I mean, I think anyone can follow that pretty easily. And also, don't kind of tell her about my progress of, like, learning elements. This is where Gojo says why. Because it will piss her off more that I didn't keep up with my elements training. This is where Gojo says, got it. Don't tell her anything about that. Just lie. Does she know about anything online? Just don't sweat dropping anything. Just kind of be kind of stoic a little bit. Or not stoic. Just say that he's doing fine. I'm doing fine mostly. But yeah. And also, she will be kind of, well, not a little. She'll be outright kind of flirty to you. Gojo says, yeah, I can tell. This is where Yuji says, just probably be flirty back. I actually never seen her be that flirty into any guy. This is where Gojo says, so am I her first or something? No. Yuji says, I can remember the last dude when I was 12 years old, when she was kind of 24 or something. Not 24, she would be, what's it called? Yuji was, okay, so Yuji was, so yeah, 25, Sayano was 25 and another. And Yuji says, I can remember the last guy, well, not 25. She was, I'm gonna say she was 20, not 20, she was, so Yuji was 10 at this time, so she will be 23. This is where Yuji says she was 23 and she was dating some dude, because grandfather did ask her to do it, just to have experience or whatever. And, well, that dude kind of had, well, all his legs and arms broken, because, well, she didn't like him at all. What happened to that dude? I can't remember. This is where Gojo says, Yuji, you gotta tell me. Yuji says, well, I can't really remember, so, you'll probably be fine. This is where, well, Gojo says, no, Yuji, tell me. I think he was put in somewhere 6 feet under, and there was a, what's it called, a funeral for him. Gojo says, God, I hope I don't piss her off like that. Just where Yuji says, you'll be fine. Just don't piss her off, and yeah. That's where Gojo says, I'm probably gonna piss her off like Urahime. This is where, Yuji says, you'll be fine, don't worry. Well, I gotta go back to training. So yeah, Yuji just goes back to training and all that. This is where we go into 3 weeks. And of course, Yuji did train with what's called Maki. And even some occasions, Nobara, even, well, Nobara, because Nobara wanted to be stronger enough. And even Maya and even what's called Savannah or even Haki, because they did kind of travel to what's it called, Tokyo. But yeah, of course, it's where, well, they only travel because they want to get stronger, and yeah, they just train. Or they're kind of near Tokyo, so they meet Yuji, but yeah. So, of course, we go into the, what's called, that one thing in Ridgeon Canyon to kind of go see the awoken of a Sukuna finger node. Basically to that bridge and all. So, everything would go in Ridgeon Canyon. How Fujiguro was kind of found out to be, well, not a psychopath, but mostly someone that would kick the shit out of bullies and all that, but yeah. This is where, well, Yuji, he is not dumb enough like in original canon. He isn't gonna try to be dumb and all that. Well, annoy what's called Fujigoro much. And he can actually figure out Fujigoro's kind of purpose a little bit faster than original canon. This is where, well, they go to, what's it called? That one kind of domain expansion, basically that, well, bridge and all that. That was at night and all that. And of course, this is where, well, they still kind of fight against the cursed spirit that's like a fucking mole, what's it called? A mole. And of course, Yuji, he does use what's called fire element to kind of send multiple fire swords or, well, fire creations at what they call the moles and kind of hit them off. Nobara does the same with her, what's it called? Well, hammer and what's it called? Nails. Of course, she is still grabbed into, what's it called? That one portal. And Fujikura says, Yuji. Yuji says, on it. Yuji jumps into the portal. Of course, that one green cursed spirit will still go into the portal also. And, of course, try to fight against Yuji. Well, Yuji and Nobara. That's where, well, Yuji says, well, Nobara, he kind of still kind of carries her kind of away from the cursed spirits. But yeah, because how fast he is. And, well, he's way faster than original canon. Of course, they're right now on that road and all that. And, of course, he does land onto the road. He doesn't, like, accidentally trip or anything like that and falls backwards. But, yeah. Of course, where, well, Nobara says, are you okay, Yuji? Yuji says, I'm fine. Just get ready. As where, well, the cursed spirit will still kind of, put blood at what's called Yuji and Nobara. And this is where, well, Nobara still uses what's called to play chicken with the cursed spirit. Of course, this is where Yuji fights against the cursed spirit, the green one. And of course, this is where Yuji, he kind of puts black flash, but also turn his, what's it called? He uses what's it called 2 elements in his arms. So of course, he does use black flash, but he also uses fire and, well, he uses, well, fire and lightning, or not fire and lightning, lightning and wind in both of his hands, and his eyes were just split in half. Well, not split in half, they were split between one side being kind of a bluish, kind of yellowish color of lightning, and of course the other one being kind of grayish. Of course, where Yuji uses black flash, you really cut through what's called the, just destroy what's called that green one in an instant, releasing the, what's called, the, so the one guy still releases the, what's called, blood thing, the Decaying blood, because even though Yuji doesn't have Sukuna and the blood wouldn't even work on him, it wouldn't work on him either way. He has what's called a resistance to poison, every poison, even without Sukuna. Of course, where Yuji still what's called kill that one dude, and of course where, well, Nobara is playing chicken with him, and of course a car will come. This is where, well, Nobara will still kind of fight against the other one, while Yuji kind of cuts that guy's one arm, but yeah. Of course, where Nobara kind of uses the doll and all that to kind of still stab into that one guy. And of course, is where Yuji, he pulls out his sword to kind of kill this, well, cursed spirit in an instant. Well, not really a cursed spirit, cursed humanoid spirit or whatever. And he usually cut his head off in an instant. But yeah, they don't disappear because they're not actually cursed spirits, but also kind of human, sort of. But yeah. This is where Fujigoro, he does use domain expansion to kind of fight against this one cursed spirit, but yeah. Well, the special grade, and yeah. This is where, well, they find Fujigoro, but Yuji kind of heals Fujigoro because he kind of got better at using healing. Well, healing abilities, but yeah. So, of course, that one blonde hair girl, not blonde hair, the blonde hair, I forgot her name. But of course, she does say, where the hell are you both, or 3 at? Or not 3 at, where the hell have you 3 been? I've been calling you and blah blah blah. Of course, Yuji doesn't eat the Sukuna finger because, yeah, he doesn't have Sukuna no more. But of course, where, well, they go back to the school, and of course, what's it called? Yuji is recommended to be what's called somewhat semi-first class. Because, well, not first class. Not first class, what's it called? curse, well, sorcerer first, and yeah, but yeah, well, yeah, first, and of course, Toto does say that, and May does kind of say Maki to be first also, but yeah. Of course, after that, I'm gonna end it off here because, yeah, until what's called season 2 will come out, I'm not gonna go into the manga unless I really want to, but I don't know. But yeah, I'm gonna leave it off here. Have a nice potato day, potato night, potato seed, potato, and potato. But yeah, potato.